What are you doing, Corey?
Writing user stories.
Oh, really? What's going on tonight? Why are we here?
RubyJax, pair programming with Kerwin.
What's up, dude? You're on Candid, whatever this is.
This massively small application that we're story carding out.
Doesn't look that big yet. Oh, we got 5 stories?
Oh, it's gonna be a lot.
Wow, you guys seem super excited. What are you guys gonna hack on? AuthLogic?
Yeah, we were going to look at AuthLogic. We were going to see if we could get RPX integrated into AuthLogic. Somebody's already done that. So.
Oh, well, good work. It was a good idea. It's been validated. Is their download done yet, Paul?
Yes, actually it is.
Alright, we are forking Boston RB, and we're going to make it RB. So that's generic for all user groups. We're going to do it in an hour and a half. Or not. RubyJax, pair programming, May 26th, Jacksonville Beach.
Hola. The flipper.
What are you guys going to hack on?
He's going to show me how to write some tests for this thing I threw together this weekend.
Nice.
For Putnam County School District, we wrote a little app, and it was a last-minute emergency thing, so it's got no tests.
Nice.
So that's what we're going to work on.
We don't have time to test, right?
We didn't this weekend.
Alright, that's cool, man.
We're going to rectify that right now.
A little DDT, development-driven testing.
Absolutely.
A lot of green on that screen. Oh, there's some red.
Oh.
How's it going?
So I don't know, it's going. Did you, we worked on Kerwin's project, did some user stories, and pseudo-coded some of it out. Sort of, kind of. Yeah.
Slow but sure, like usual? Or?
Yeah, did you get what you wanted out of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Say no. We can use it.
Well, you're not done yet. We're just almost done.
I'm trying to make sure.
You're tired. Are you sleepy?
I'm tired.
Oh.
Don't get that.
It's hard work being that beautiful all the time, isn't it? Did you have any opinions? How do you feel? It's okay to say that you didn't like it and that you hate Corey. We all feel that way sometimes.
Thanks, man.
It was awesome, and Corey's the best.
He wants to come back.
You tried the best, not to try the rest. All right, well, you're definitely welcome to come back anytime you just want to hang or whatever. We have an open office policy, so if you just want to come and hack on your own stuff or hack with one of us, just swing through. Just let us know, man. Hit us up on Twitter or whatever, and come on by. We do that a lot. People just come in and out, just hang. Project status update.
So we ended up picking on some IMDb stuff.
IMDb, like a rapper?
Not
What are
too
you
much
doing?
to show. Yeah, we forked a wrapper and we're adding search to it. They have a wrapper that will give you information about a movie if you happen to know the ID, but there's no search, so you can't.
So you got to first find something that gives you the ID.
Yeah, so if you happen to know all the IDs for IMDb, you're good.
I have most of them memorized. There's a couple that I don't. Status report.
We're
digging into RSpec.
Yes, and I have actually learned quite a bit. So, I think I have a better understanding of the difference between where you use RSpec and where you use Cucumber.
Nice.
So I am.
If you could let me know, that would be good.
I think my direction is to work with RSpec to try and get a good understanding of that before I even touch Cucumber. So
That's probably a safe way to take it.
I saw some nifty stuff with Selenium that I'm going to have to look into when I do get to Cucumber, which is pretty snappy stuff. So.
I learned a lot about the Putnam County School District's power usage.
Yes.
So we all learned something, right?
A little bit here.
It's actually fairly interesting. They've got a section of time, a goal, where they want power to be reduced to a minimal input. It's like 3 o'clock every day, which is strange.
Well, that comes from having evaluated, because when we first started looking at these charts, we found things like over here at 11 o'clock at night, all of a sudden something spikes, and it goes until 3 o'clock every day. So we started looking into that, and you try to figure out what's making that happen. And that happened, in that particular case, it was happening because particular kind of fan was left on, and that resulted in the system-wide pumps coming on at 11 o'clock to support that fan and running for 3 hours. So
that's
really
cool.
All of that went back to the actual programming of the controller for that fan. So you went into programming for that fan, you turn that fan off so it doesn't come on, the pumps don't come on, and you start saving a lot of money.
So you're not testing Rails controllers, you're testing real-world electric automation controllers.
And then we found one where the 3 to 6 p.m. thing, the reason that's there is because we found a lot of schools were still being heavy when students weren't there from 3 to 6. One particular school we found out the reason they were still heavy was because they used to have an after-school program 2 years ago. When they stopped that program, they never reprogrammed the controllers to shut everything down.
That's awesome.
So you find a lot of good information by looking at these charts, and we don't have a lot of data loaded, but you can see somewhere the whole week is like this, but Monday is higher. So you start asking questions, why is Monday higher? And you find out things like, well, on Monday they do a lot more cooking because they're planning for the week, and it's explained.
It'd be great if you could replicate this and give it away somehow to every school district.
The idea is to turn it into a subscription app that, if they get the you have to get the controllers from the power company on and get that data. But then they could load their data and get a look at all that stuff.
That's cool.
Sometime in the future.
Awesome. Carry on. See you, dude. Thanks for coming. See you on the internet.
We're doing.
Are we having fun? Are we learning anything?
I'm learning a lot.
What have you learned?
Well, I've learned about all sorts of cool
Keep it down, Corey.
applications to use more of my time.
You've learned
I should
about
say,
awesome
make
text-made
me more
text-made
productive.
extensions.
Text-made extensions and OS 10 apps and
Yeah, what did we get? We got RSpecter going, got Ruby Amp, Akin Project,
yeah.
and then we also incidentally wrote some code, but that was really not as fun as installing plugins.
There's some. They put a lot of references to Boston all over the place in this code.
They hard coded a brand? Oh, it's in the style sheet. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
And
troubling.
I think that's because.
I think we're due for a big find and replace.
I think it's because of this here.
It all starts there. That's it, kids. One line of Haml can ruin your entire project.
Yeah, and it appears to me that. So this is probably. Where's your? Oh, it's over here.
Look at that. It's been rebranded. What are we looking at? Oh, you want the inspector?
Oh, that's just for the top. What?
Oh, it's not. It doesn't
that's
encase
just
everything. It's just one section.
Why they name the link bar at the top, the navigation bar, as an ID for that?
Who knows?
How about if we rename that to?
Shall we? There's probably a reason Dan mentioned we should genericize this. I'm sure they just hacked it and weren't too worried about it. All right. That is the status update. Last words, Sandro?
Not talking to you.
Went that good, huh?
Leave me alone.
Did you get a query or a search working?
Yeah, we can search, but we need to parse the horrible HTML. You want to see the HTML?
Sure.
There's a very limited amount of IDs and classes going on in here. So it's I think we're 7 tables deep is the first bit of HTML we actually want to parse out and use. I don't know, there's not much to see here, but it's table after table after table, and it's ridiculous. So I'm using Selector Gadget, a bookmarklet, to help you find the correct CSS selector visually. It's kind of a neat little tool. That's it.
How did you feel about pairing tonight? How did it make you feel?
Once we restructured the project into something usable and got the test running, it felt good. Some red-green refactor. No refactoring.
What was it like pairing with a new man? New blood?
For somebody who doesn't know Ruby, he was quite helpful.
Yeah, What's his main
PHP.
language? PHP guy?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
We must know some Ruby.
Maybe he just knows programming.
Yeah. That's cool, man.
It's good.
Hola. Our pairing session went well. Kerwin, he had an application in mind that he wanted to work on. Really high level thought or idea. Sorry, I'm tired. Damn it. So what we did is I didn't have a clear idea of what he wanted, so I was like, well, let's write some user stories. And luckily, he had signed up for Pivotal 2 days ago.
Oh, that's cool.
Thanks, Sandro. So we just pounded out a couple of stories, probably about 11. And after we got through doing 11 stories, I just did like a model diagram for him, how I would have done it in Ruby. He's going to be doing it in Cake HP. But other than that, there's definitely, surely he learned something, and I definitely did as well, as far as explaining or teaching. So it was exciting. It's tiring, but exciting.
You gonna go nighty night now?
I'm gonna go home and eat some brownies, have a brownie and milk, and read a book.
You want me to tuck you in?
No, I don't want you to touch me.
All right. Well, how'd the night go overall? How'd pairing go? Like, not you focused more on the project last time. You know, how was it pairing with New Blood, whatever?
The backs of his hands are bruised.
Yes. I like the setup. We didn't write a whole lot of code because I'm more unfamiliar with the testing tools he was more showing me. But it was nice to be able to grab the mouse and say no right here. And so the setup is definitely very, very conducive to working well and working together. So I found it interesting. I think just because we were talking about a project that I wrote and he's unfamiliar with.
Right.
You know,
so you had
we didn't get a lot of
domain.
traction on,
Sure.
have a lot of common ground on what it was we were working on.
How was it pairing with New Blood or re-explaining some things that you already thought you knew?
Yeah, I think that's just it. Is we all know stuff. It's just when you have to explain it, it's like, yeah, probably could know this a little bit better, have things better memorized. Let me go look at this project that I'm working on right now.
Right.
Just even little things down to the spec ops, the spec doc versus progress. Little things that float out of your head after a while. That was good though. Definitely had fun pairing with Case.
So how was your session tonight, John
So
Lark?
I thought it was great. It was.
Can you not?
I think it goes to show that even in a different pairing situation than you're normally used to, you can learn a lot. You can learn a lot on either side. Like if you're a teacher or if you're someone who's like new to Ruby or whatever. What are you shaking your head?
Stop moving.
You stop moving. So like there's an experience gap, but like if you got someone who's a good programmer, I feel like that doesn't matter because they can still see the algorithms you're using, or they can still call you out on those programming fundamentals. So it was cool to re-explain some basics and revisit some basics, And
Cool. It's like reading a object-oriented design book or something like that after 7 years of OO programming, something like that, right?
for me, I mean, Paul knows Rails, but I was just like basics of just like configuring things, or like we went over Cucumber because he hadn't done much Cucumber, and it was great to like see Cucumber through new eyes. So that was.
So he was versed in Rails.
Yeah. For sure.
Okay. Cool. Very cool.
Yeah, it's very. Like I'm tired. I didn't want to come out and hack tonight, but you still learn stuff,
So you're a little tired too, buddy?
A little sleepy.
Oh.
I want a brownie.
Yeah, the one that I made. They're pretty good.
You make the best brownies.
That's right.
You're a keeper.
Well, cool.
Good night from RubyJax parent programming.
Good night. Sandro, say good night.
Good night.
Night.